Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to create multiple workbenches and also separate the craftables from the player to the other workbenches. So first I'm going to create go to blueprint others folder and go to enums folder, and I'm going to create a brand new enums called crafting list owner. There you go. Here I'm going to create as many as you want. The first one I'm going to say craftable. This is going to be the player default. Also, I'm going to use the same display name to show it in the UI. You can name it whatever you want. This is going to be the default. Then I'm going to say crafting workbench. Then I can have blacksmith workbench. Alright, so we're done with that. We're going to go open, go to other folder and open crafting cost. And we're going to add the new enum that we created, new variable, name it crafting list owner, and it's going to be crafting list owner, the new enum that I just created. I'm going to put this above the record actor because they're related. So yeah, so we are done with that part. So we're going to open the player inventory component now. I'm going to create a new variable there. Make sure you spell it right. So new variable name is going to be crafting list owner. Its variable type is going to be, you guessed it, crafting list owner. Let's compile. All right, let's close that and make sure save all. Open our servable character, find tab. There you go, this is the tab. Make some room here. So this is where we're going to set the player's default crafting list type, which is going to be craftable. So I'm going to say set crafting list owner is the player, and the craftable is the default. Alright, so every time you press tab, this is going to be the default, so you know it's a player. So I'm going to close this. I don't need that anymore. I do need to go to player build part and open crafting bench build part. This is where I have access to the player component. I'm going to do the same thing, set crafting list owner, and guess who's going to be the owner. The owner is going to be the crafting workbench. Alright, so we're done with this part. Close it. Now I'm going to go to the inventory HUD, blueprint HUD, type in HUD, inventory HUD. In here we are going to go to the event graph, find update crafting menu, make some room here. So from here, in this widget we have access to the crafting player inventory component. I need to pass that to this function, which is in the crafting main widget. So I'm going to say get inventory component, and let me put this here. Go to this function, which is in the crafting menu. I'm going to add an input, inventory component, and inventory component. Alright, so I have access to that now. Let's go back to the HUD, pass the inventory, and compile, and we have something wrong here. What happened? Oh, okay, something wrong. Okay, I have to compile this. Make sure you compile the crafting menu after you create a new input. Okay, now it should be fine. Alright, now let's close inventory HUD. We don't need that anymore. So we have actually the player inventory component, and then what you're going to do is we're going to go to the designer and click on this. We're going to this is says title text. Okay, we're going to turn this into variable, is variable. Go back to graph, drag this, then we're going to set text, Let's do this here. Let's make some room like this. All right, so we're gonna get the enum from here. Crafting list owner. We're gonna say to string, I think. To string, and we should be able to assign this here. All right, there you go. Now it will take the display name from the crafting list owner enum and show it in the title bar of your this. So it will say for the player is going to say craftable, for the for the crafting workbench is going to say crafting workbench. All right, so that part is done. Now we're going to go back to the crafting menu event graph. So we have access to the inventory component. Let's create a variable and let's promote this to a variable and name it player inventory component, so that we can, if you go back to public crafting, we have access to that. Now in here, so what this is doing is going over all the crafting recipes, this loop. So from here we can just break the cost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the one that I created, right click, convert to valid task, put this in between here. Let's move this to the right. Okay. Now I'm going to expand this. I have access to the owner. I'm going to say equal. Let's minimize that. Whatever I have in the component. So get crafting list owner. Like that. Like that. There you go. And this is going to be a branch. Pass that to this. In case this fails, I'm going to add another. So I'm just going to show the player inventory. Anyway, I'll create like another probably local variable and say crafting list owner. Crafting list owner, and keep the default as craftable, so this player. And so I'm going to drag it here. I'm going to say equal that, and I'm going to grab the owner from here to there. That's pretty much it. This should work as it is now. Alright, so we're done with this part, and now we're gonna go to the crafting recipe. We have to assign items. No, what's wrong with me? Items, recipes, crafting recipe, then furnace required crafting bench. So we're gonna say we have this crafting list owner that we created. So by default it's gonna say craftable. So for most of these recipes we don't have to change it. So only for furnace and bed, I think. So I'm going to say crafting workbench, and for bed it requires crafting bench as well, so I'm going to change it to crafting bench. The other one by default is fine, it's only for players. So when I press tab, I'm not going to see furnace and bed in my list. So before that, we're going to place build part. Make sure you place crafting build part, because when you build a crafting bench, it uses the build part. Alright, so if I go here, full screen. Okay, why is all the way over there? Okay, now before I do that, go to tab. See what happens? You're not seeing the furnace and bed, because furnace and bed belongs to crafting bench. You're only seeing what player has. Now this is an issue here, right? So we did something wrong in the inventory HUD. Let me go back to inventory HUD. Not inventory HUD, my bad. In inventory menu, so it should be enum to So it has to be, I think, enum to string or that, not this. And then if we pass this there, we should see there you go. Now it's fine. So yeah, it has to be enum to string. I think I did byte to string. That's why it was showing number. All right. So if I press tab, you see the craftable, the label change. This is for the player, and you only see the player craftables. Now if I go to the crafting build part, press E, you see furnace and metal bed. So, and also the label says crafting workbench. So this way you can create as many workbenches as you want. You can separate them, you can craft them separately. You can have workbench, blacksmith, gunsmith, engineer, chemistry, whatever you want to do. Cooking workbench as well, you can do that as well. Yeah, so if you found it useful, press the thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Until next time, goodbye.